Warning, censorship. Warning, censorship.
What's this for?
It's a ticket because you were participating in a protest.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
which is totally lawful.
Well, it wasn't.
You're undeterred. You're headed back out there again.
That we are definitely going back out there because it's our freedom that's at stake. And if we keep complying with these unconstitutional lockdowns, we're headed not in a good way. So we need to start standing up together and for freedom. It's our freedoms that are going to be taken away because once they take them, we're not going to get them back without a fight. So we've got to stand up now.
We want everyone to have the freedom. And I think there's a lot of folks that just aren't awake to the reality of what's happening. And we're so thankful for Rebel News, too, and Sheila coming here and the support they're giving to every citizen of this nation, this country, that we need to stand up together.
Sheila Gunn Reid for Rebel News, and today I want to introduce you to a pair of unlikely rule breakers. Wilf Massey and his lovely wife Cindy are a pair of severely normal people from Red Deer, Alberta, as you are about to see. It's obvious. And yet, they have been suddenly thrust into a fight for freedom and a fight for constitutional rights after the Alberta provincial government and the municipality of their home city of Red Deer have used the pandemic to crack down on civil liberties. Wilf was ticketed for what seems to be standing on the street in a number far fewer than 10 on his way to a protest against the pandemic lockdown.
What's this for?
It's a ticket because you were participating in a protest.
Yeah, which is totally lawful.
Well, it wasn't because of the numbers that were involved.
But
You're contravening an order of the public health officer. Okay.
And we're not contravening what Jason Kenney told us.
Okay.
Yeah, he said that we could protest in groups of 10, and we were never in a group of more than 10.
That group that day was close to 100 people.
Yeah, we weren't there. We didn't get there till later.
So
you know
there
what?
You go.
It doesn't matter. Yeah. Okay. It's against charter rights
I hope
anyway.
you stand down when the Great Resets hits.
Yeah, it's going to be awful.
Thanks very much.
$1,200.
Wilf sent us at Rebel News his ticket at fightthefines.com. You see, we're helping people who receive coronavirus violation tickets to not pay the ticket, but rather to fight the ticket. If you get one, you can submit it at a special website, fightthefines.com. Now, the Constitution says that it is not illegal to protest the government here in Canada. So I'm helping Wilf and Cindy fight this atrocious $1,200 fine. Wilf and Cindy invited me into their home over this past weekend to tell me exactly what happened. Check it out.
On December the 5th, I joined my wife to go down to a rally, freedom rally here in Red Deer, because I believe strongly in some of the restrictions that were being, I feel, incorrectly given to us. I wanted to support that cause. And so I went down there. When I approached, I approached the area where we normally, there was several police cars in the parking lot. We pulled in and parked with them. And then we got out and got our signs and went up the street, crossed the street. And then we've joined one of our friends. There was a group of protesters, separated area, a larger area, but we were down the street about half a block just with a friend. And while we were there with her, Cindy noticed an RCMP taking a picture of a license plate on the back of our SUV. I said, "Oh, Cindy, I'm going to go over and find out why." So I went over there and asked them, "Well, why are you taking a picture of my vehicle?" "Oh, just to be in case something goes wrong here." Well, I says, I thought, maybe I shouldn't be parked here when I see any of it. "No," he says, "you're okay to park here."
Yeah.
So
Okay to park, but not to protest.
Yeah.
well, it was. So anyway, we went up and across the street to visit with our friend. Well, we'd been there already. Yeah, I'm sorry. And then Then we noticed city councillor Michael Daw was across the street, so we went back across where we originally parked the vehicle to visit with Michael Daw, because we know Michael Daw, and we'd been communicating with our city council about some of these issues. And so we had about a 30-minute visit with Michael Daw, which was really nice. And there was a police officer come up to us when we were visiting, just to be sure it's okay with Michael that we were there. It was all fine. And then we went up to the corner of the street, and there was just 5 of us, a friend and 2 others a little farther off, but we were there for the balance of the time. 3 o'clock, I went to my vehicle. Cindy was visiting with a friend, and I went back to the vehicle, and there was a different police officer confronted me and says, "Can I have your ID, please?" I says, "What do you need my ID for?" What have I don't think I've done anything wrong here. Everything's been peaceful, and we've been very, we're all healthy and peaceful, and we're in compliance to what we know as restrictions are. And he took a picture of my photo of my license, and I said, well, I don't understand. Like, what have I done wrong? He says, that'll be up to AHS.
Yeah.
So I didn't question him. I didn't know what that meant at the time. I still don't know. But anyway, that was on the 5th, and on the 14th, 9 days later, a police officer, RCMP, comes to our house and delivers me a ticket. So I asked him, what's this for? Well, it's a section under the Alberta Health Act, 73(1), contravening something with the Health Act. I says, really? He said, you were at a protest. And I said, yes. We didn't do anything wrong at the protest that I'm aware of. Jason Kenney, when he gave out the restrictions, he said protesting was okay. He didn't have a problem with the protesters, but he had a problem with the socializing, public socializing.
Yeah, we weren't socializing, we were protesting.
We were just, and we were not.
In a small group, yeah. We weren't even in a big group. Ever.
So I still don't know what we're contravening. What did we do wrong? I still don't know, because I don't know what that act is yet.
Now, Cindy, I'm here on a Saturday morning, and I think you guys are headed out to a protest this afternoon. So you're not deterred. And you were kind enough to invite me into your home, which I think is now also illegal, but you're undeterred. You're headed back out there again.
You bet. We are definitely going back out there because it's our freedom that's at stake. And if we keep complying with these unconstitutional lockdowns, we're headed not in a good way. So we need to start standing up together and for freedom. It's our freedoms that are going to be taken away, because once they take them, we're not going to get them back without a fight. So we've got to stand up now.
Now, you both seem like nice, normal people, peaceful people, law-abiding people, soft-spoken. Did you ever think that you would become criminals for just standing up for your rights?
Never. I just can't believe this, really, because it's just like the 2 of us walking down the street and meeting a friend. My question is I still don't know what we did wrong. Is if we can't be on the city street of Red Deer, we're going to get a $1,200 ticket for what?
Well, when it's interesting, because 2 or 3 weeks before that, I'd come to one of the rallies and there was all these police around, and I was like, oh my God, what happened, right? So I thought, okay, I'm going to go out and talk to them. So I talked to them for like half an hour, and, they were asking me about the rally, and I said, well, yeah, we're just here, we're trying to fight for freedom for everybody, not just for us. And I said, this is a very peaceful group where there's family members in here and just people that believe in freedom, and they can see where this is headed. And they were great. I had a great conversation with them. So when we went this time, when we saw the police cars, I thought, oh, they're just here to help us or whatever. And then they kind of turned their backs on us. And I almost feel like that's a little bit of the agenda that, how they're always saying, oh, defund the police. And we were supporting them. So now they've got the police giving us tickets. So now it's like, oh, they're, going against us. And I think that's all part of their little manipulation of things as well.
Now, Wilf, I want to assure you that I don't want you to pay this fine. I want you to plead not guilty, and we'll help you fight it. Like we're helping so many people through fightthefines.com. We're going to crowdfund to cover your legal fees. It's at no cost to you. Your lawyer works for you, doesn't work for me. And I want to also let you know, Cindy and Wilf, if you're out there and you get another ticket, come right on back and we'll fight that one too. Do you have a message, Wilf, for the people who are going to crowdfund for your legal fees, and maybe for people out there who are scared to stand up for freedom?
Well, we would really encourage everyone to, do some critical thinking and, really think about things carefully. And we want everyone to have the freedom. And I think there's a lot of folks that just aren't awake to the reality of what's happening. And we're so thankful for Rebel News too, and Sheila coming here, and the support they're giving to every citizen of this nation, this country. That we need to stand up together and stop the lockdowns. There's no need for those. There's no need for all of this because it's been fabricated for a political agenda that is not in favor of the patriots of the country. So we must come together.
Now, Cindy, do you have a message for the Premier who is imposing these lockdown rules on severely normal people like you and your husband?
Well, just that he should be standing up for Canadians. I mean, so many people voted for him because they thought that he was going to do right for the Albertans. And I just think he should prove that and say no more lockdowns. We're going to get on with our lives, and we're going to protect the elderly that need to be protected. They need to be protected every time there's a flu season, or the ones that have the underlying health issues. But yes, he needs to stand up for Canadians.
What an appalling situation, ticketing nice people like Wilf and Cindy for exercising their constitutional rights. These governments are out of control, and they are absolutely begging for a reality check. And I'm happy to be the one to give it to them by helping Wilf and Cindy and so many other people fight back. If you'd like to help cover the legal costs to help with Wilf and Cindy and hundreds of other Canadians across the country in their fight against their coronavirus tickets, please go to fightthefines.com. For Rebel News, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. If you've received a coronavirus pandemic violation ticket for doing something that was completely legal 10 months ago, like protesting or visiting your family members, don't pay the fine. Fight it. Plead not guilty and send us the ticket at fightthefines.com. And if you have not received a coronavirus violation ticket, but you'd like to help people fight back and help me put the government back in its place, you can donate at that special website, fightthefines.com.